Hello, good morning. Welcome to Kaho's Corner this Monday morning, beginning of the work week. Thank you for joining me this morning. I get the next couple of days off today and tomorrow. Me and Linda both have the day off so we can spend time together and actually celebrate our 21st wedding anniversary tomorrow. So we get some things planned on the east side of the island today, and then tomorrow we're going to do some things on the west side, just hang out and do some different things. So I know it's kind of maybe a little dark for you guys on online, but that's just how it is this morning. So, but anyway, last week we had a chance to talk about compassion, really, on the parable of the Good Samaritan in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 10. And basically, compassion is an action word. I mean, really, it's just putting pity into action. I mean, if you feel pity for somebody because they're going through some kind of crisis and you just, you know, feel bad for them and not do anything about it, then it's just, you feel bad for them. But when compassion and you do something about it to help relieve their pain or just be of some kind of assistance in whatever they're going through, if God blesses you with resources that you can help another person with, and you, from your heart, you really do care and go out and help someone, that is compassion. And that was the whole deal behind the parable of the Good Samaritan. The person that was least likely to help gave everything. Like I said yesterday, he gave of his all of his resources, his supplies, his donkey, his finances, and even his word. When you go back and read it, or if you read it, I mean, it blessed me. And God, think in today's time, if we're children of God, He gives us that opportunities to be around people. Like somebody had compassion on me in my time of need when I most needed it. Uh, some 21, 22 years ago, that someone, God had put someone in my life that had compassion on me and gave of all of the resources to get me back on my feet, and we just need to pay it forward. That's what God asks of us when we can help somebody in need, to be a testimony to them and to be a light for God. And what better way to serve, to help someone in that process? You bless someone, and of being a blessing, you get blessed, and that's what it works. Compassion is in the middle of that whole process. So today we're going to just kind of keep the ball rolling on compassion, and what better way um, to to show Jesus in action. I mean, he told the parable. There was meaning behind everybody that, the person that he told the parable to, and all of the people that he described in his parable each had a part, and until today it's prevalent and in each one. But anyway, we're going to look at another passage in the Gospels, in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 6. Jesus had sent out his 12 disciples in pairs. They went on their first mission trip. Jesus gave them specific instructions. You can go back in chapter 6 of the Gospel of Mark and read all of that. So they go out, they do exactly what Jesus had commanded them to do on the mission trip, and then they get back. And they wanted to tell Jesus all that went on the mission trip, and all the things. And that's till today. I mean, Jesus still asks us to go out on mission trips to help. It might not be in a foreign land or somewhere far. It can be in our own community when we go out and serve others, and put God at the front of what we're trying to accomplish, and then come back and just be blessed. That's a mission trip. You go out and serve others. So they did just that. They get back, and right away Jesus notices that it's tired. They're tired, so he wants to take them to a secluded place to rest. mission trips can. I haven't been on one. I've been, well, not far in a far land, but up in Texas, anyways, just serving others. So they get back. Jesus said, "Hey, jump in a boat. Let's go to the other side of the lake to a secluded place so you guys can rest." But while they do that, all of these people start gathering on the shore, and this is the beginning of feeding the 5,000. They all start congregating around Jesus because they knew already. And the disciples thought different of it. But if you go into the Gospel of Mark chapter 6 and you start in verse 30, and then it says in verse 30, the apostles returned to Jesus from the ministry tour and told him all they had done and taught. Then Jesus said, "Let's go off by ourselves to a quiet place and rest a while." He said this because there were so many people coming and going that Jesus and his apostles didn't even have time to eat. So they left by boat for a quiet place where they could be alone, but many people recognized them and saw them leaving, and the people from many towns ran ahead along the shore and got ahead of them. Jesus saw the huge crowd as he stepped from the boat, and then what's the next thing it says? It says he had compassion on them because they were like sheep without a shepherd. So he began teaching them many things. Sheep without a shepherd. To me, it's a picture of the whole humanity who was lost. Ever since the Garden of Eden, when things went bad, the course or the plight of humanity was just like sheep without a shepherd. And at this point, when Jesus showed up on scene, that is the good shepherd. If you read in the Gospels, he describes himself as the good shepherd. People know my voice. The sheep know my voice. If you look at old Jewish times, the sheep herder, as he's herding his flock of sheep, he's talking with them, and they're following him. Humanity is nothing different. Jesus called himself the good shepherd, and we are sheep without a shepherd. Now we do have a shepherd, and it's Jesus. And it showed that when he came up to the 5,000, he had compassion on them. And if you keep reading on, I won't read anymore. You can read on. And the disciples had other things on their mind. They came back from a mission trip. The last thing they wanted to do was serve 5,000 people. And they told Jesus, they came back, "Hey, it's getting late. Why don't you send them off so they can go buy them something to eat?" We get better things to do, like rest. But when you serve God, there's a lot of things to be done. And the disciples didn't quite get that. And Jesus said, "No, you feed them." And they didn't know how. They had lack of faith that they could get it done. And Jesus asked them, "Go get whatever supplies you have." They ended up collecting 2 fish and 5 loaves. And Jesus lifted up to God and prayed. And by the time they set people down in groups, and he told the disciples to go feed them, they had more than enough. And what's amazing about it, all the leftover fish and bread they had equaled up to 12 baskets. And they took it away. 12 disciples. Out in my heart and my thought was like Jesus said, because you guys had lack of faith in me, in what I can do, I'm going to get exactly 12 bags left over, baskets, so that each one of you can carry one and think about what just happened. And
vitamins at 7:45 a.m.
But as far as that, Jesus showed them that to have a lot of faith, you can get things done. And compassion without faith doesn't work. So I hope you guys have a blessed week, a good week, and be open to helping others. Let compassion take over and not having a heart for helping others. So be blessed. Aloha.